All right.
Well,
Yep, here we are. It's episode 2 of the Late for Band Practice
yeah.
podcast.
Are we gonna do our little intro, or did we
N-
have we
We're,
abandoned that already?
we've abandoned that.
The best
I don't think
part.
it makes sense. Is it the best part? We could try it. We could try it. You want to try it? You want
We
to do the
gotta have
thing?
it. Oh, but we're
You
gonna
want
have to do the intro. We're gonna do the intro music one time.
Well, I didn't know if you were gonna have like a little clip before we started, and then do the thing. But we
Oh.
could do the thing. You want to do the thing?
So you have it.
Yeah, just so we have the thing.
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right. Hi, I'm Shane.
And I'm Kyle. Oh. That's fucking cut me off. You know. And I'm. Wow. All right. So rude.
Oh God, that was honestly not on purpose, but it should be.
Unbelievable, dude.
Okay. Uh, Hi, I'm Shane,
And I'm Kyle, you know?
and we're late for band practice.
Nice.
Oh my God, I'm dying. I'm actually dying. Oh, that was really fun.
I would like to apologize to the viewers, to the 2 viewers that are watching this. Hi, Mom. I went and I purchased a tripod. And I was going to use my phone as my webcam because it looks like I'm sitting on the toilet. Um, and it didn't work. So now we got to troubleshoot another option, which is annoying. Now that I have this tripod, what am I going to do?
Well, you should just get a webcam, dude. Just get a
I'm gonna
a
get a
4K webcam. They're freaking $120, a really good one.
Why would I need a webcam when I have one built into my computer?
Because the ones that are built into the computer aren't designed for 4K awesome, stuff like
Well-
what I'm doing here. Cool stuff. They make cameras specifically designed for like Zoom meetings and podcasts and whatever. And that's what it is. That's where we're here now.
That's what
And they're super easy to set up. You just plug in and go.
Yeah, but then I'm missing a port.
Well, then you get a multi-port thing to plug into your computer like I did. And you
So now I
get
gotta
4
buy
extra
two-
ports.
Now I gotta buy 2 things. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? That's what you signed up for.
It is.
When you
This is a mistake.
Listen here. Don't be a boomer, okay?
This is a
Just
fucking
freaking get
mistake.
with the times and upgrade your life.
Oh yeah? Well, if the phone would work, which it did on every other app I tried to use it, I was like, yeah, of course we can use your phone. But for some reason, this one was like, oh, sorry, we're gonna need you to download the app, and then we're gonna need you to re-upload it, and then we need you to take a picture with your phone, and then once those talk to each other, then you're gonna have to go into your settings and give it extra access so it can now also talk to your computer. Oh, by the way, have you charged your computer? No, we're shutting it all down. That's what it was like. So.
My kidneys hurt because I've been laughing already. So that's
That's not good. That's
that's
not, a
not
good
great. That's not great. So today's episode is going to be a little interesting because we've currently invited another band to join us, and their name is Check Online, and they got in touch with me via my live stream, and I played some of their music, and I was like drawn back to all the old stuff that we used to do, like me and Kyle used to play that kind of music, and I was like, wow, it's all come full circle, and we got to
Crazy.
talking, and Kyle got in touch with them, and we are like, why don't you just come on the podcast and we can discuss, like, just look at the parallels between what you and me did and what they're doing now. And I see, as I look through their social media, I'm like, wow, it's just 2 kids in a room, guitar and drums, just playing. And I'm like, man, that's exactly what me and Kyle did.
Those are the good old days.
The good old days. And so I'm drawn back to that through these two gentlemen, Vinny and Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they should be showing up here momentarily, but
They're late for band practice.
they're
podcast.
definitely late for band practice. Yeah, yeah. We're 40 years late, and they're, I don't know, 8 minutes late, maybe? I don't know. We
Yeah.
didn't really set a time. We were just like, hey, we'll send you an invite. And then,
No, I told them. They're fired. Nah, I'm kidding. They're just,
Yeah.
they're honestly, they're probably going through what I went through, having to download a bunch of things. They're probably like, what the hell is this? What if they completely stand us up?
yeah, dude, it's a big giant troll. And that, you know what's funny is like,
Dude, that'd
their
be
whole
hilarious.
shtick is very just like kind of punk, fuck you kind of stuff. And I'm like, what if it is a big, what if this all is a troll? What if all of the, they're just like having, they're just fucking around. And maybe
Yeah.
that, and even that, if they're fucking around, that's fun. That's
Hey.
still fun.
No, it's hilarious. And in the spirit of the rebelliousness.
Like because if I have free time, I'm going to use that time to play video games or do something else.
Well, a movie is just like a video game. You just don't have to do anything. Yo!
Hey, there he is.
Yo, movies are kind of like video games.
Hell yeah. You can hear us good?
Yeah, you guys sound good.
Oh, fuck yeah. Awesome, dude. So,
I'm just
yeah,
gonna
hey,
make
your
sure
mic
Oliver's
sounds good too.
getting in, okay.
All right. Oh, do you guys not live together?
Oh, hell no.
Are you guys so I'll wait for Oliver. I have so many questions for you guys.
Yeah. Come on.
Is he late?
Oliver.
Late for brand practice, bro? Come on.
Oh, Oliver.
Bro, we're all getting on you right now.
Because Oliver's the drummer, right?
Yeah,
You're the
yeah,
guitar player.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Oh, that makes
opening the
sense.
link, but
Fucking-
it's going through Google Chrome or something. He's getting it right now.
Yeah. He has
Fucking
to have
drummers,
Google
dude.
Chrome.
Drummers,
drummers.
fucking suck. Drummers are always causing
Come on,
problems.
Oliver.
Good for
flaming you right
one
now.
thing.
Is it working?
Yeah, we could start. Yeah, we could just start, and then whenever he pops in, we'll just pop in.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
He's having MacBook issues. He's doing it. I'm doing everything on a freaking office computer, and he's doing everything on a MacBook.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Vinny, dude, welcome to the podcast,
Yes,
man. I'm excited to get into this, man.
Yes, me too.
I'm super happy that you like found my stream.
Yeah.
And like, how did you find my stream,
Dude,
by the
so
way? Were you
listen-
just like surfing Twitch and you're like, oh, there's a drummer playing?
Look, so I'm gonna be so honest when I tell you this. So that day that I first found you on Twitch, I typed in the keyword drummer, and I didn't click on any of them at first, and all I did was look at the thumbnails. And your setup, dude, it's just your freaking hair, dude. I was like, dude, this guy's cool. I was like, let's check him out. And then I got in.
Hear that, kids? I'm cool.
Yes, exactly. Dude, and you're playing fucking
right.
video game music. I was like, no way, bro. I was like, this shit's cool as hell. Like, you took like a fucking, I don't know the names of them, but you took an 8-bit Mario song and turned it into some like Slipknot, and it was sick. And it was like, it was awesome. It was super cool to see that. I've never seen that. Nothing like that. So that was so cool to see. It was super unique, and so I was like, it just stood out to me. Like, it was like I said, first your setup, like you had everything laid out perfectly, and then you got the just 8-bit stuff on the side. It just looked super cool, so it was intriguing. So that's what made me click. And then I saw song requests, and I've never done that before. I've never seen that on Twitch. And then I was like, shit, so how do I do this? I ended up typing like the link in chat and shit, and Shane was like, yo, bro, you got to do this and this. And I was like, all right. So I did it. And then I waited. I sat there for like 20 minutes. I was like, and I watched him play every other song. And then he finally got to my song. I was like, yes, bro, it's time. And I had everyone waiting, and I was like, look, bro, he's going to play it. And yeah, dude, it was just an adrenaline rush the whole time, just right behind the screen, just watching you play our song, dude. It was so cool.
That's cool.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those that don't know, like on my live stream, I don't do like requests in order. I
Right.
do it by random, and I just do that because it's the most fair way. I feel like because everyone out there has lives. Everyone can't come to every single stream, and so if I just do it by random, I feel like that's the most fair because
Exactly.
it's like kind of like the lottery. You
Right.
won the lottery.
Yeah, exactly. That's how
So
I
yeah,
look at
dude,
it.
and so you requested signs, and I said this on stream. I was like, dude, This reminds me of me and Kyle's first foray into music.
Oh wow.
Because it's exactly that genre of music, that old new metal sort of Linkin Park
Right.
sort of stuff. And I was like, damn, man, like it just took me back. And which it was kind of serendipitous because me and Kyle were talking about starting this podcast in during that whole time too.
Right.
And like just kind of reminiscing about old times and stuff like that. And so like, and then I checked out your social media, and it's just you and Oliver, who's now joining us.
I'm here. Oliver.
Here's Oliver.
Oliver's here. Let's go.
What's up, dude?
Hello. That's funny.
Dude. Welcome,
Hello,
Oliver.
Took me a minute.
Long enough. What's up, man? We were just talking about how this came to be, how Vinny came on, was on Shane's streaming thing. That's how as far as we've been so far.
Yeah, and so and I checked out y'all's social media, and it's just you two just sitting in a room playing music. And I'm like, that just reminded me of me and Kyle. Like, seriously, me and Kyle have known each other since we were 5 years old. I don't know if you guys are similar, but like we just did everything together, including starting to play music together. We would sit down in my parents' garage, and I'd have a drum kit that I just bought. It was like, my parents bought for me because I didn't have a job. I didn't have any money. So, and then he would have his little dinky guitar, and we would play Metallica songs.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me of those times. And so I want to use this opportunity to kind of like glean y'all's perspective and what you all want to do in terms of music. Like, what's the plan?
Right.
Like, what are the parallels between y'all's journey and what our journey was?
Right. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also obviously I want to get into like everything. What influenced you to even start this? What are the bands that you looked up to? Like like how do you guys record? Because it's so different now than when we started. So why don't we start there? Like, why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell us about your band?
Okay. All right. So Oliver, I want you to start with yourself and tell them about.
Oliver's gone.
I was like, hey man, I quit. So
There's too much pressure. There's too much pressure. He's a drummer, dude. The drummers don't want their face to be seen or heard.
Shane, I was trying not to laugh while you were talking. He was lagging out so
I know, yeah.
it was so
I'm back.
great. That's all right, you back.
God.
All right.
dude.
We thought you
God,
quit, dude.
Different room.
Dude,
Oh,
bro, the
that was
studio
great.
has he was in the studio. We got him to go in the studio so we can like, so in case we wanted to show it off or like show you guys what it looked like, but that Wi-Fi isn't terrible in there.
You guys were going out every
That's
second.
cool.
So.
You were too, believe it.
Let's start this over. Oliver, tell us about yourself. The world's worst interview.
Okay, all right, guys. Sorry.
All right, it's all right. Oh, Vinny's
Oh, now we lost Vinny.
okay,
Okay.
we're back. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I think I should start off that I've been playing drums since I was 3, and my first drum kit was this D2 drum kit that I got for my birthday, and I started taking lessons from a jazz drummer, and that was not my vibe at all. Like, he was trying to tell me to read sheet music, and it wasn't my vibe at all, because I was growing up on like Tommy Lee and Motley Crue and all metal and rock. So it wasn't my vibe at all. So I just kind of switched to learning myself. And I taught myself throughout years and years of playing and inspirations. And it's been amazing.
Dude, that's
awesome.
wild. That's, what's wild? Because I also took lessons from a jazz drummer, and he tried to teach me like how to read music, how to do like bossa nova, and how to do all these like, how to play jazz. Because if you know how to play jazz, you can learn other things pretty well. At least that was his theory. But I was the same way. I was like, I want to play the drums. I want to freaking, because I was like you. It's like I saw these drummers like freaking going crazy,
Exactly.
like
Yeah,
this. Like I want to hit the drum. I don't want to
Right.
play soft
Yeah.
and be like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I was your age. I was 16 years old, and so like trying to tell a 16-year-old to do anything is impossible. Like,
That still stands today.
take it from me, I was 16 and I said no, I don't want to do it. But I did eventually. I did glean some, some valuable insights from learning that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's wild that you kind of had the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first time I actually ever wanted to play drums was watching Animal from the Muppets play.
Yeah, dude.
And that's exactly what I wanted to be like. I just wanted to like and then I go to the jazz drummer and he's like you're gonna wanna do some swing and everything. I was like, bro.
He's right. He is right. Yeah, I mean, like he is right because like if you watch, there's I don't know if you watched this one, but it was Animal versus Gene Krupa.
I have seen
You ever
that.
seen that
I
one?
have seen that.
That one's incredible because Gene Krupa is probably one of the best drummers
And
that has ever
I
lived.
feel over time as being a drummer, you start learning and to appreciate those elements. As like a year ago, I actually was in jazz band at my school, and I learned to appreciate jazz and actually realize how good jazz drummers are.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what learning jazz is because learning jazz and other forms of music, it really builds up your rudiment skills because you
Exactly.
have to learn a bunch of different kind of rudiments, all of them basically. And if you know all your rudiments, you can translate that into metal, into punk,
Yeah.
into hip hop, And so like that's what
Exactly.
a lot of teachers try to teach kids. But again, we're kids. We just want to get to the mountaintop without
Yeah.
doing any of the work.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm still that way today.
Exactly.
I want to be good now. I don't want to suck at all. I just want to be good. Where's the cheat code? Can I
Exactly.
get the cheat code, please?
Right. That's I gotta say, I gotta add, that's what I was looking for, and I know Oliver can vouch for me. I never picked up an instrument until last year. I've never touched an instrument. And
Oh, sick.
yeah, and the first instrument I did get is a drum kit, like $100 electric drum kit. And because a month later, I had a Green Day show in Atlanta to attend. And man, the world just doesn't really like Billy Joe, and I get it, but I don't know, they're just like their whole history and the whole just the shit that they went through to kind of get where they are, cuz like that's where everyone kind of doesn't like them, is where they are now. And it's like, it's not that they so much asked to be there, the right person saw them, and it just worked out. And yeah, and I just take so much inspiration from that. And so for me, I picked up a drum kit, just not even because like I even like the drummer that much. It's just the drums that in their music, especially their old music, it just like Trey Cool doesn't play the drums, he plays the song. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I get what you're
and that's
saying.
where I learned like my enjoyment for drums, because like just how perfectly it fits and everything. So yeah, I picked up that drum kit and I felt the same way. Like I just wanted to smash it, and that's how I ended up breaking the $100 kit. And because I just wanted to smash it so bad. Like it was so great. And yeah.
Yeah.
Do you play guitar in the band though?
Yes. Yeah.
So you went to the Green Day show. You obviously saw how cool Trey Cool is.
Right.
Were you also influenced to play guitar from seeing Billy Joe too?
Exactly. So that's what I wanted
Yeah.
to also say about him. He's like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like, because everyone knows, the mainstream hits that they've made. And it's like, until last year, when I found out they were coming to Atlanta, I used that as an excuse. I just turned 19 last year. Like, that was my first trip to Atlanta by myself. I'm from Florida. So like, Green Day was the best excuse. So, but it just happened to be that when I was there, like, it's like I fell in love, and it's like you said with the guitar playing, that's what inspired me incredibly. Like there's no other guitar player I can say that inspired me than Billy Joe, because I'm a power chord guy. I'm all about and I get that
Well,
all
yeah,
from there.
y'all's music is very like because I was going to say that y'all's music is very punk influenced.
Right.
Besides the song that y'all sent me during this, which surprised me, I was like, okay, these are two different
Right.
genres, but the attitude's still there.
Right.
There's a lot of parallels between like new metal ish
Exactly.
and punk. But like, it's if you look at Billy Joe, it's Joe,
Yeah,
right?
Joe.
Billy
Not
Joe.
Joel.
Okay.
One more
Not
letter.
Joel, because that's Haley Joel. We were just talking about Haley Joel Osment the other, like right before you guys got on. So I'm like, Joe, Billy Joe, like the way that he holds his guitar,
Right.
and he strums it down like that, you know.
Exactly. That's what makes it.
And
That's
just like
what
the
makes
arm
it.
goes up. Like there's a look to it. There's a charisma in that, and that's it's that punk kind of fucking fuck you,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
He's such a percussive player. I wouldn't be surprised because I don't really know much about his musical background, but he almost plays the guitar like I imagine a drummer would play the guitar.
right.
Like it's so aggressive and it doesn't need to be technical, like as far as like from a guitar player standpoint. Yeah, he's playing power chords, but his approach to the instrument is so simple, but in that simplicity it allows him to write just bangers.
Exactly.
Like the songs, he's much more than just a guitar player. He's
Exactly.
what's the word I'm looking for? Prolific songwriter.
Ooh, good word. Good
Nice.
word.
You want to know something fun, boys? Is we watched Green Day happen? Isn't that
Yeah,
wild?
right?
Yeah.
We were alive when
Like,
Dookie came out.
That's insane. Like I can't believe that.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's so crazy.
Dookie was actually one of my first rock albums. It was Smashing Pumpkins,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was Dookie.
Yep.
And I was like, man, this is rock and roll. I
Right.
it felt wrong like to listen to back in because back that time it was punk was at least like Green Day was so like counterculture.
Right.
That was the counterculture at the time. It's just like this big FU is just coming out of the grunge era, and now like pop punk starting to seep in.
Right.
Yeah.
And then after that, ska. Then you know, you had bands like No Doubt come out of nowhere. Like man, also one of my first rock records was I remember that sixth grade listening to Tragic Kingdom.
Tragic Kingdom is so good.
Great album.
Such a good album.
Great album.
That's so wild to hear that you guys are influenced by bands that we saw happen. But I
Right.
guess it's kind of the same thing as like when I hear my parents say, yeah, I remember the first time I heard Led Zeppelin on the radio. And I would think like, what was that like to hear these legendary songs that you had no idea were going to be as impactful as they were?
Right.
And it's almost like we're looking at like, I remember the first time I heard Basket Case on the radio. That was like
Right.
one of the first songs I learned to play on guitar was Basket Case from Green Day. And
That's
it's wild to
sweet.
be like, I went to a Green Day show and that's what's inspired me to join this, create this band. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So guitar now, you've been playing guitar like what, like a year and a half, you
Yeah.
said?
Just about now.
Which is, I think that's such a good, that's such a great example of the power of instruments and music. Like
Exactly.
you can play drums from when you were 3 years old and contribute to music, or you can play guitar for a year and a half and still contribute to the
Right.
same work of art that you guys are both doing. Like, yes, you guys are both bringing different influences and experience to the table, but at the end of the day, what serves the song is the most important. Who cares where the technical ability lies?
Mm-hmm.
Because the average listener, like when they listen to you play, they're not going to know you played for a year and a half.
Right. Exactly.
They're just going to be like, I like this song.
Exactly.
And punk music is supposed to be raw and unpolished and just emotion.
Exactly.
So who cares? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, and you got, y'all got the passion and the attitude down,
Right.
You know, because it's that fuck you attitude.
Exactly.
You know? It really is. That's
Yeah.
what punk music has always been. It's been fuck you. This is what we're playing, and you're
Yeah.
gonna like it, or you're not
Exactly.
gonna like it. We don't
Exactly.
care. Fuck you.
We don't care.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
So I would love to hear your guys. So I've noticed in a lot of bands or younger artists today, genre seems to be not even a thought or an issue. Like there's so many bands out there that every single they release is a different sounding kind of song, and no one really cares. They're kind of just like, they just accept that as face value. Like, this is a song that this band is putting out, and this is also a song that this band is putting
Right.
out. Well, how do you guys approach your music writing? Are you thinking like, hey, it needs to fit in this box, or are you just kind of, hey, let's just make whatever comes out?
So the funny thing is a lot of the songs me and Vinny make, we jam out before,
Mhm.
and he usually shows me a riff, and I kind of just play along to it. And I'm very, I want to say I'm pretty genre driven when I think of writing a song. Is um, hey, what does this song sound like? Is this more of a Blink-182 vibe? Is this more of a, ska sound? Is this more of a Linkin Park sound? Like,
Mhm.
I really thrive on what the box fits into, but I think creativity takes over in that aspect where when you listen to the finished product, that's when you can really justify what it sounds like.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think
Well said.
I think that the thought process of younger people writing music and recording music is there's so much on social media now of you see like bands like Riffwood or something on TikTok, and they're doing these covers of bands, and then you find those bands and you listen to those bands, and then you want to do it yourself. And then you go into a studio, or here at my house, my dad makes music, so we have a studio
Oh,
here at
cool.
my house. So you go in here and you just do whatever your passion is, and whatever comes out is the product. And that can come out in so many different ways for so long that when you see younger people release music, it's so many clumps of different genres that
Mhm.
it still sounds like you, but it's such a different element. And there's so many people, I mean, at least in my age group nowadays, go through so many phases of music, so many
Right. Yeah.
phases of inspirations. And one of my biggest inspirations in drumming wise is uh Travis Barker. I mean, I
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
he's right there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you're gonna start to play drums and you don't know Travis Barker, you need to
Right.
just stop what you're doing right now
Yeah.
and learn you some Travis.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I you know I play guitar too. And one of my biggest inspirations for playing guitar is Bradley Knoll from
Yep.
I
Sublime.
see the Sublime poster behind you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Damn.
And the reason behind that is because I started listening to Sublime, and I was like, man, these guitar riffs are so cool. I want to learn them. It's all bar chords. Every
Yeah.
single song, all bar chords, all seventh chords. It's
Mhm.
all the same. And then when you
That's how I
go
felt about Green
and
Day.
exactly.
Yeah.
And when you go and listen to their live recordings and stuff, they do this dub reggae sound of the 90s that was so cool, and they altered their songs in such ways that I wanted to start playing guitar and sing too, and add that creativity to it. Because as a drummer, you learn these songs, you learn these beats, and you're like, this is fun. You're a drummer at heart, you know. A drummer is a
Mhm.
drummer at
Yeah.
heart, and but you get that itch that you want to learn the melodies of these songs.
Oh
Right.
yeah, and you learning guitar, which I never really tried to learn guitar, but like every drummer that I've ever met that also plays another instrument, their playing becomes a lot more musical because they understand they understand how the writing process for writing guitar or bass or whatever, or piano, they understand that the musicality a little bit better, and they bring that to their drumming.
Mhm.
Exactly. And
Yeah, I'd be curious. I'd be curious to see, Shane, if you were to learn guitar, um, like as far as rhythms go. Like, I'm sure you could make up cooler rhythms than my brain could ever think of, like a chug pattern or whatever. It's just you haven't developed the technicality to be able to make your wrist and fingers move that way, but in your
Yeah.
brain, you could make up something way cooler than I could. And I wonder what the antithesis of that is. Like, if I were to learn how to play drums coming from a solely guitar background, I'd be curious to see like how that would translate, because I wouldn't think like a drummer.
I would have been a lot better musician, but I was too lazy. I
That-
was
that's what
much
held
too
me up.
lazy.
That's what held
I was
me
like,
up.
you know what? Drums are my thing. It comes easy to me. I'm gonna do this. And
Right.
then when you start a band and you kind of fit that, your role is fixated. At least for me, my role was fixated. I was like, I got 2 guitar players already.
Yeah.
My role is the drums. I'm gonna concentrate on being the best drummer I possibly can.
Yeah.
Especially in the
guitar,
in the genre we played, you're the most important part. Metal music, like you're not gonna have a heavy song without good drums.
Right,
You can have
exactly.
the sickest guitar riff ever, but if the drummer isn't tight and hits those goddamn drums so hard, it's like it's not gonna matter. So don't discount yourself, drummers. You're important.
Exactly.
I would argue that the drummer is the most important member of the band.
You know what? I
Right,
agree.
relax. All
I
right.
agree.
I mean, my
Yeah.
drum teacher,
You are.
actually said this to me, and I'll carry it with me till the day I die. He said the drummer is the driver of the bus, and the rest of the band are the people driving the bus. Like in the back, having a good old time, drinking, having a great time, and the drummer's just driving the bus. Yep. But if you stop the bus, meaning if you stop playing, guess what? They're gonna have to stop playing too.
Yeah.
They can
There's a
continue to
replacement.
play, but it's gonna sound like absolute trash.
Yeah.
And that's what that whole analogy means. And he says like you cannot stop playing. You have to make sure that your every fill is like perfect and not, if you just miss a note here and there, and a person knows that song, they're gonna know you fucked up.
Right.
They're
yeah.
gonna know you messed up. The guitar player, the singer, they can like kind of flub around and kind of miss a note here and there and just kind of get back on track. The drummer cannot do that.
Right.
No. We're the loudest element, and
Yeah.
you're in the center of the stage. That's crazy. I never thought about it that way.
But it's really cool that y'all, like Oliver, you said your dad's into music. My parents were musicians, and so we were lucky enough in that to have, they had a garage already set up for music because they did it for their practices. And so they were very supportive, and it's really cool that you have a family that's very supportive of you too, and want you to pursue your passion.
Yeah, my dad.
That was huge
my dad.
for us.
My dad is a recording artist too, and he was in a band in the '90s. Actually, did pretty well in Tampa.
What was the
Cool.
band?
Rosewater Elizabeth.
Rosewater Elizabeth. Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
Check it out.
and they were pretty big in the '90s, and he just always kept having that itch of having that drive of being a recording artist and getting people to listen to you, people coming out to shows, headlining shows, doing all of that. So he's always carried that passion to me, and it's all I want to do now. It's like literally like I don't see my life in any other direction but that, because of how my dad raised me, with always recording music around me, always making music, always making albums. Like when me and Vinny finished this album and we saw the track list for the first time and listened to it, it felt like such a big accomplishment and so good to me. It feels like an itch I've been trying to fix for so long, of just being around somebody that had done this for 30 plus years and has 10 plus albums, getting that first album done and actually starting to do it after having so many inspirations and so many aspirations to make music in general is a feeling that I can't even describe.
Well, it is a huge accomplishment, especially like because people don't understand, and we all will understand this. Like Vinny, you come with a riff, right?
Right.
Oliver, you start playing to it. There's something that just doesn't feel right about it, and you may be able to fix it right then, or you may be working on it for 2-3 days, and you're like, oh, like Oliver might suggest like maybe it's a different like snare pattern that hit something in your head, Vinny, where you're like, oh, actually, I want to accent that. Oh, now this is so much better.
Yeah.
Or it's like you keep beating it, and like, this sucks, man. And you completely have to start over. Like, there's so, like, when you look at an album of music, people have no idea how much intricate little details need to be worked out over and over, and like the trials and tribulations of like, and I don't like this lyric, or like the arguments of like, no, I love this lyric, like, no, I hate it, dude, like, we have to change it. I don't want to change it. Like when you finally hear a final record, it's crazy how much work and thought and passion goes to that. So the fact that you guys can even do that is amazing. And this goes to my next question: what is it like? I mean, I guess you don't know, but when Shane and I were coming up, we would have a handful of songs that we wrote, and it's like, okay, the only way people are going to hear these is if we play a live show. You can't get a live show without a demo. Great. How do you get a demo? Well, we've got to save up money to buy studio time. There was no like, hey, let's open up our laptop, open up Logic or Ableton. The plugins nowadays, like all the neural DSP, like amp simulators, they sound better than your fucking amp that you have and it's in your laptop and your headphones. So it's got to be so cool to have that access to being able to push your music out there like that, and not having to have to pay for studio time. But what I think the thing that Shane and I were so blown away about is like, you guys are burning CDs.
Yeah. Check it out. Check this out.
Which is awesome. Yeah. Like, you know,
that is what like really drew me to you guys. I was just like, dude, they're actually burning CDs.
Yep.
That's
why I have the
like,
office computer.
Dude, that's just so.
But it's so punk
like,
rock. It's so ethos to what you guys are doing. That's so because a punk rock is all about anti-establishment, no matter what the establishment is. And right now, the establishment is streaming and social media and just complete access to music. Everyone's online, rotting their brains. And it feels like the CD is like the fuck you to that. It's like, no, here's something tangible. Get off your phone, sit down and listen to this. Yeah.
I'll never.
One of. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll also never forget the day where I bought one of my favorite albums for the first time on physical music.
Which one was it?
Trench by 21 Pilots. And it was one of the first ever albums I bought on vinyl, actually, and just opening it and getting to look at physical music is such a good feeling to own it. You own it. You own your own your library.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It's all about like you like and one of our reels down there, it's like the caption is like, have you ever owned music like this before?
Right.
And it's like
it's trying to make me freaking log in because I'm doing incognito mode. I don't want people to know my stuff. Like, come on now. Trying to, but
we get it.
There on Check Online Official on Instagram, there is a thing where they actually have CDs.
Yeah.
And they burn CDs, and I'm like, damn.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's just
so. What are people?
But it says right here. Oh gosh, dang it. I hate technology. How about this?
That's the point.
That's what we're here for.
That's the point.
That's what we're here for.
So what's the reaction when you hand someone a CD of your band? Have you ever had someone be like, "What is this?"
No. So it's actually funny. So we dropped a bunch of content one day, promoting the CD, because we bought a pack of 25 CDs and no jewel cases, nothing. And we were going to use our original CD cases and just take out the films and put our own written covers in them. And so we promoted it a little bit, and a bunch of people were asking us for them. Like a lot of people, our thing was DM us how to get it, and we'll give you information.
Yeah.
And we got about 4 or 5 people on the band account, and then each of us directly, through our own things, got a bunch of people that actually wanted the CD. And so we started having to come up with a bunch of ways to basically advertise a CD player to people and tell them, like, your cousin's Honda Civic's got one, your Xbox has one,
crazy.
like there's, and it's like, it's gonna, like, we talked about this right at the beginning of this, and it's like it's gonna be really hard to get people offline. But believe it or not, that's our whole message, and like we want to find a way to. We obviously can't eliminate what we have now. There's no way, and I mean, whatever. But we wanna restrict it, but not even make it feel like it's restricting. We want people to see the value in getting away from it, because that's what me and Oliver did. The whole message is either go play music with your friends or go watch your friends play music with their friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't just watch it through
Yeah,
a
yeah,
short
yeah.
30-second
Fuck supporting
TikTok.
a band. Like, go to the show. Like, you're not
Yeah.
supporting a band when you like their, you know what I mean? Like there's ways
That's
to.
so crazy that y'all are so young and you guys are seeing the writing on the wall already.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
because that's where everything's going. Because there's
Yeah.
like, why do I need to go to a show physically
Mhm.
when I can
Exactly.
just see stuff
Stream
on
it
TikTok
on an
or
MP3 on
stream it on
Spotify.
MP3? And
That's so
one
crazy.
one of your posts, which I tried to bring up and I couldn't
Mhm.
do it, but like one of your posts, you said like, do you know what it feels like to actually own
Exactly.
a CD, like to own your own music? And when me and Kyle made our first record in that dinky little studio with Muskrat, Muskrat, God, I hope he listens to this. Like, I don't know what he's doing, but that dude was awesome. He was a very interesting character.
Yeah.
Which back then you had to find interesting characters that had studios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imaginably.
And he was so funny. He just loved to smoke weed and whatever. And we didn't smoke because we were too young to like even at that time. Like, I don't know. Anyway, but when it was all finished and done, like when he handed us that first CD, when everything was done after all like the multiple weeks of us recording our music on there, like it was like gold. Like, because
Listen
all
to
of
it in
your
the car. Yeah.
all of your hard work, all of the arguments, all of the rewrites, all
Right.
of the time, effort, just like was in your hand. Your culmination of all that hard work was in your hand.
Exactly.
And there's something to be said for having something physical in your hand, as opposed to like, all right, album's done. All right, I guess I'm just gonna drag and drop this over to
exactly.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, cool. Oh, we need the album artwork. All right, drag and drop.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
And it's just like, all right, you're done. You know, yeah. And then maybe that sounds like me just being an old head because you know times
well,
change.
That's how the generation that we're in, unfortunately, looks at it, and we're using our influence with who we are as people, and you know, whether people think we're cool or not, we're trying to use that as. We don't want to force people anything, obviously. We're not like, get the hell off your phones, like, or else you can't listen to us. Or like, you know what I mean? Because we post on social media. We're part of that, you know, we're part of that whole thing.
I mean,
and
you
it's-
kind of have to in order. I mean, like
Exactly.
it's
No
the
one will
system
know.
that is, you know, yeah. Otherwise, no one will know. But like the message there, though, is there, and you know, with that, there's still like record sales, like actual LPs,
Right.
are very still quite popular, and bands still use that as an avenue for like people who actually like to collect
Right.
memorabilia, which is cool. That is really cool. But you know, transferring that sort of collectible sort of mindset to CDs, I feel like you guys are on the cusp of something there, because people have forgot about CDs,
Right.
and I feel like it's been it's been long enough, because it took a while for LPs to get popular again.
Yeah.
I feel like it's right around that corner where like, well, let's do something with like CDs. Actually,
Yeah.
again, something physical.
And
Listen, the writing's on the wall. I just
Yeah.
saw a kid wearing Jinko jeans yesterday. I said,
Yeah?
"Oh, we're back. We're back."
here we are.
Here we
Go
I mean,
again.
I think I also want to point out that my mom, probably about 3 years ago, showed. My mom's a very big punk influence person. She was around that
That's cool.
entire 80s, 90s, real punk
yeah.
scene around early Minor Threat and Fugazi era.
Oh shit, yeah. So
And-
she's like, that's punk rock.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
that's
right.
punk.
Like Ian MacKaye punk, like
Yeah, yeah.
that kind of intricacy of punk music. And I listened to that album. What album was it? I think it was 13 songs. I listened to the Fugazi album, and my mom showed it to me on her phone, or I think in the car on her phone, and I listened to it. I'm like, that was really cool. That was really sick. I've never heard anything like that. It's art punk. I never heard art punk stuff like
Yeah.
that before. And I was
Yeah.
like, I always heard like Minor Threat and Bad Religion and, you know, all
Black Flag.
Black
and
Flag,
all
all of that stuff where it's just like thrash punk where you're just like, fuck the government. And this had the way Fugazi sang their songs and the way they played their songs felt like an actual song instead of a Armageddon or a message. And
Right.
I listened to that album, and then we came home. I was like, that album was awesome. Oh, I'm talking about it. And she gives me her copy of it that she had on vinyl for the first time. And she was like,
Passing the torch.
yeah. And
Yeah.
she's like, listen to this. I had a shitty record player, and I listened to it. I'm looking at the track list. I'm listening to the album for the second time again. And if you don't know, or you definitely probably do know, the second time is always one of the best times around of listening to an album for the first time,
For the first
because
time, yeah.
it gets you to open up, oh my God, this is, how am I finding this just now kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I remember listening to the album on my floor on record, and it sounded great. It was like an old pressing of it. It sounded great and so raw and perfect. And I'm looking at the track list, and I'm going through each track list. I'm looking at the lyrics and everything. I'm like, this feels right. This feels right in this type of music. This feels
Real. Yeah.
It feels so connected to
It's
it.
authentic.
Yeah.
That's the thing I think about today. Like, I think
Here we go. Here we go. We're
Yeah,
doing these kids today.
I think
me
the
tell you
biggest
something.
separator in music right now is like you can just tell when someone really believes their shit.
I already
Like
know what
that's
you-
who they are.
Yep.
Whether you like it or not, you can't say that that person's not who that is though. It just may not be your genre of music, but I nowadays with how fast everything is and how people try to capitalize on trends and whatever's happening to go viral, you can kind of smell that. You can kind of
Yeah.
sniff that out when you see a band that's out. You're like, oh, you guys are just like, you're good and you're instrumentalists and you came together to do this thing, but you're trying to chase. You're a dog chasing its tail. You're never gonna catch it because the trends always change. But the
Right.
people that like are like, fuck all that. I'm gonna do what I do and like it or not. Those are the people that are always like the Minor Threats.
Mhm.
All of those people were like that. That was crazy music to make back then. But
Yeah.
they're like, we don't care. We're just gonna make it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so and it's cool because like it's awesome to hear that the passion is coming through, even though it's obviously older technology that was that made the music, and so it's not
Right.
as produced as all the stuff is today, and the drums aren't sampled to be absolutely perfect sounding, and it's like the best acoustics ever.
Yeah.
Because back then it was just like they set dudes up in a room, had a
Yeah.
few mics, and they were just like play, and then so they're like they just played,
And it
then,
honestly
like,
sounds like shit, but it's cool. Yeah.
I think
Cool.
but
We'll
it,
put
but
it
it, but
out.
again, the attitude comes across, and you're like, yeah, fucking
Yeah.
yeah, because that's what that music was supposed to do.
Mhm.
there's a lot of
That's the whole point.
There's a lot of points with that too, with recording too, that I've realized that, I mean, you could even look at Steve Albini, and he has like Big Black and all of his punk
Mhm.
bands, Shellac and all of that. Some of those albums sound like it was 4-track. And you look at
Right.
his
Oh,
you
yeah.
look at his studio, and he's running like a full-on $14 million studio. But you listen to that album, and it sounds like it's recorded 4-track, which it might even be. But that's
Right.
the energy that music carries, and that's
Right.
what
Right.
makes it good. You're not going to listen to trying to think of a good example. You're going to listen to any old punk song and then remaster it and re-record it and put compression on it and say this carries
Yeah.
the same vibe. No. It's
No,
it's all about how raw it sounded and the element, and the reason all that old punk music had so much anger and so much angst and so much power and feel to it that people cared about is a lot of that stuff was recorded even live. They just played those songs
Oh,
out
yeah.
and were like, all right, on the album, there it goes.
Right.
How do you guys? Is that what you guys do? Do you track drums first, then guitars, or do you do a live take? How do you do it?
So
Differently every time.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
time we do it we started off our first song we ever made, and I figure it's actually the biggest problem in our it's not our songwriting. It's like it's our dilemma, and it's what makes our song so short. Because we do it separately now, but we tried to do it live once, and it's like the setup you gotta have is like super. It's like it's gotta be so like it's too many wires for me, and and
It's a lot of work, man.
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to get
Dude,
to
because
get
it's
and
connecting to the computer, and
Right.
yeah. So it's just we've stuck with the whole separate track. I'll come in first, but one thing Oliver taught me that I never used because I've been making music for years, but I made solo music just vocally,
Yeah.
and I never knew I had to stay in a BPM. I never knew that, and Oliver taught me that, and I'll never forget that. Now it's like the biggest piece of information I ever got in my life for some reason.
Right.
And it's like things like that, like because I'm
It makes editing so much easier when things are in time.
that too. But it's also about the aspect.
Leave
of
it to
learning
the
these
drummer to
things.
say,
Right.
"Hey, there's a thing called the metronome, and if
check it out."
if you should, we should try to keep it on that
Yeah.
to make things easier."
Yeah.
Shut up! You're just a drummer.
Yeah.
That's how it went at first until I had to realize that the hard way that I sat there. I'm like with the headphones on, recording guitar. I'm like, bro, it doesn't sound right, bro. And he's like, Oliver's behind me. He's like, bro, put the metronome on, bro.
find the
And I'm like,
BPM.
no, man, I don't want
played
it's
it a
just a loud ass
click,
click in my ear. I don't want to hear that shit. It's like, turn it on, and it worked.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, if Oliver's played drums for as long as he said he's very familiar with what a metronome is.
Right. Oh,
And
yeah.
unfortunately, other band members who decide to like you got to learn to live with the metronome.
And the-
Exactly.
that's how you just live with it. It happens. And when you play live, you don't need to use it. But I'm telling you right now, all of the best bands that are in the world right now, I'm telling you,
Use clicks.
all
for
of
sure.
them are using a metronome playing live.
Right.
Well, their
all
whole
of them.
shows are coded on.
Right.
Yeah. All the lights
There's a
are-
light show now. There's fire. So if you don't play on the right time, it's just all of it is
there's a lot
set
of
to a metronome.
there's also a point I want to make is when drummers tell anybody, "Hey, try a metronome," and it's this big kabloom in their head. They're like, "Oh my God, playing in time is so much easier." It didn't come to us like that either, or I guess me.
No. Yeah.
I remember I recorded a video of me playing drums, or I recorded drums or something. I forgot what it was, and I wasn't using a metronome before. And you just realize how out of time you are as a drummer.
Right.
You're like,
Oh my God. Oh, dude, you're speaking to my soul right now because like I remember that's exactly like I told that exact same thing to my drum teacher at the time, and he that's when he explained to me, he kind of had to explain biology to me. He's like, look, when you're playing live in front of people, your heart rate and your adrenaline is going to go so fast. If you're not playing to a metronome, you're going to watch that. And he told me, he's like, record yourself as you play, and then watch it back when your heart rate is back to normal and you're actually at a normal pace, and you watch it back, and and it's crazy because you're freaking going, but at the moment you're not thinking you're going that fast. You're
Right.
just
Yeah.
like playing because you're just like feeling it, and you're like, I'm
Yeah.
playing this right, and you watch it back, you're like, oh, that's a million miles an hour, and because you're going a million miles an hour, the band has to keep up with you, and so they're playing a million miles an hour, so they can't play their parts in correctly. So, yeah, like this speaking to my soul, like I just remember that
Well,
whole
it's
conversation.
drummer
it was
to
like
drummer here.
I just remember that realization, like how important a metronome was, and the more you play to a metronome, your natural timing will be better.
Yeah.
Because then at that point, like even when you're not playing to a metronome, because once you're good enough to you've played a few years and you're playing with bands that don't like using a metronome and they're paying you, and you're like, okay, because you've played it with a metronome for so long, you kind of know how to like you kind of know like if you're going too fast
Right.
already in the moment.
There are some situations though where no metronome is badass. There's some like early videos of Slipknot when they were playing Ozfest. They
Oh,
were
yeah.
not
Oh,
playing
yeah.
to a click, and they would come out there, and the songs were like exponentially faster, but it added to the chaos because
Right.
they're just chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, every situation is different. Of
But you're not
course.
gonna
And
go
it's-
see Dave Matthews Band, and he's not gonna be playing blast beats because they're so.
Yeah, there's so
Right.
many different instances, and I even want to talk about one of the tracks on this album where it sounds completely no metronome and out of time, but that's the coolness of it. We took a lot.
That's the vibe of it.
We
Yeah.
took a lot.
which song
Ghost?
Yes.
Yeah, Ghost.
was
Did I-
it?
Did I send you Ghost?
I don't think you did.
No, maybe not.
It's a very slowcore influenced duster kind of sounding song, and
There is one song I want to discuss that's on the album that is actually really funny. But so there is a song that y'all sent us, and
I'm worried now.
it reminded me of not the song itself, but just the title and the attitude was kind of like that. It was the song called "Fuck You."
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Aptly named.
Aptly named "Fuck You" is the song.
I love it. That's it.
Yes.
Dude,
guys-
I
Fuck you.
love that
Yeah.
so much.
It's so
And
real though.
Yeah.
Like it's like I remember exactly being angsty like that. And you guys
Well-
captured that, dude. If you were to tell me that was like a punk band from like the late 70s, early 80s that I never heard of, I'd be like, yeah, probably. I mean, you guys capture that attitude so well. Like punk rock is not a music; it's a culture, it's an attitude, it's a
Boom.
feeling, and it doesn't matter like what the instruments even playing. But that is a punk rock song. And
So
it,
what's
like, at the
what's
core.
what's wild here? What's wild here is like, okay, Oliver's a drummer, Vinny's a guitar player. Like, you know, there's so many different parallels between y'all's journey and ours, like me and Kyle's. So y'all came up with a song called "Fuck You." Okay, so this song that I'm about to show you guys is from our first record.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Well,
ready.
no, actually, it's technically our second record, but we were y'all's age. We were like 17 when we
17,
made
yeah.
this. 16, well, because 16 was the first album, 17 was the second album. We were 17 years old, and I just thought it was funny. Fuck you, but yeah, I'm gonna play the song.
Let's hear this.
Wait, is that?
It's
Yeah,
self-reliant.
this is it. Yeah. All right, we don't need to listen to the whole song,
Oh
but
my
like I wanted to get to that
gosh.
"fuck you" part
Yeah.
because like there's so many different parallels. It's like that's so funny.
I think
was-
that's just like I think that's just what it is to be a 17-year-old boy.
Right. No, it is. It really is. And the thing
Yeah,
is,
dude.
is when I think of that song that you just showed me, which was it was actually amazing. You know, the
love
the
that.
beginning threw me off, and it's like at first, like I don't know what I'm thinking of is I'm thinking of it's a long time ago and all these kind of other aspects, and it's like I'm expecting like this super low quality, like you know what I mean, mix and whatever. But that sounds like once all the other instrument, whatever you did or whatever happened, that sounds really good.
Well,
Like-
we actually went to an
Right.
actual studio. It was some dude's room.
Yeah.
Other dude's room. Yeah.
Some dude's room.
But that was his thing was he wanted to be a producer. That was
Right.
his whole thing. So his whole art form was producing, mixing, and mastering. And like that was all we did was play. That's
Right.
all we did. He set up all the mics and everything like that.
sounded
so,
amazing.
Like what you all are doing is you're all trying to do that as well as play
Mhm.
music, and that's
Well,
We never did
incredibly like that's what I guess that's what you have to do now. Is like you got to learn
Unfortunately,
all of the
it's
things
so
now.
bad, and it's crazy because the song "Signs" was recorded in a studio, and you can obviously probably tell, you know, there's a big fucking difference there. But the thing is our first song "Wake Up" was no more than a minute and 30 seconds long. Again, that's kind of our dilemma is we make really short songs, but we don't complain about it. But
Let's take a listen to Signs,
rock.
shall we?
Let's do it. I think
Dude,
we
okay, so this is the song that introduced me to y'all, like, and that played live on my streams, you know, song unheard, and it's like, hey, play our song. I was like, okay, and so I played this song, and like, if you listen to it, you could like, this could have came out in like 1998, 99, and I'm like, this is crazy.
lights come on, I don't wanna feel more, let it all fall down. Spiteful, I don't even like you, put the shit out, then it's gonna come right back round. Doing shit I don't even want to, I don't even have to, I don't even like it now. Doing shit I was taught not to, blame it all on you, long as the light stays out. Prototypes of what I've become, don't know what or right or want. Now I'm feeling like an architect, so deep inside of my own regret. As the day goes on and time passes through, I'm the man that they ain't calling for you. They ain't falling for you and they not falling for you. Every second that goes by, another dollar you lose, another hole that you choose, another payday you lose. I ain't mad, I'm just hoping you don't break me loose. And fuck that, I ain't even fucking fucking mad, bitch, I'm glad. I'm just hoping that you fucking hate me too. I don't wanna know the truth when the lights come on. I don't wanna feel more, let it all fall down. Spiteful, I don't even like you. Put the shit out, then it's gonna come right back round. Doing shit I don't even want to, I don't even have to, I don't even like it now. Doing shit I was taught not to, blame it all on you long as the light stays out.
Dude, I mean, like it's just straight out of 99. Like it's so, and it was wild to me that when you told me your age, I was like, dude, this is exactly what me and Kyle were into. Like
Right.
that exact whole vibe was, and it was wild. It was wild.
I gotta
to me.
ask
Yeah.
before it's too late. Dude, you fucking kill that song every time you play that, bro. Dude, in my opinion, I'm gonna say
I
I'll be
agree.
flat out. The first time you played it, bro, you fucking dude, the fucking. Oh my God, you're fucking crazy, bro. You killed that shit. Like
remember
I sat
Vinny-
there for a second. Oh my God, bro.
Flattery will get you everywhere, Vinny. Flattery will get you everywhere, Vinny. Thank you.
I remember when Vinny showed me that. He's like, this dude played our song on drums. It was fucking crazy. And then like I heard like the double kick elements. Dude, there were so many
Yeah.
elements. I was like, fuck, I wish I did that. like there was like when
Yeah.
you did the double kick breakdown.
Mhm.
The second time you played it, actually,
Yeah, that was the second time.
that was awesome. And I've never seen anybody play a drum part that I did. So
Yeah, right, exactly.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like, just fucking around, and like, when you have you like, do you have a double kick? Do you
no,
do the double kick thing?
no,
No? Are you going
I
to?
want to really bad.
Okay. Yeah, I just recently purchased another. You know what's crazy? I actually posted this on my social media. So I had the same double kick I'm 40. I got my first double kick when I was 16.
What was
Wow.
it?
And I just recently put it away to get a new one.
Wow.
So I had that for 30
Wow.
years? 30 years. I had that same double kick pad, the Tama Iron Cobra. And
Those last a lifetime.
Tama it did, man. It lasted the different tours. It lasted just so many different bands, like, and it just never broke. It never broke. And I finally was like, I need to get something that has a little bit more speed to
Right.
it. It's about time.
Right.
And so I got the DW 9000. So
That's a dream.
yeah.
That's the dream.
So that, but it's just yeah. Like once you get a double kick, I suggest the Tama Iron Cobra because it'll last
Right,
you
right.
Your
until
whole
you're
life.
fucking my age.
That's funny to hear.
Yeah, I've been
That's
running.
really
I've been
funny.
running the 9000 or the 5000, the DW 5000 single pedal
Mhm.
for.
Yeah, DWs are great. Yeah,
I've been running the 5000.
I've been meaning to get
forever.
one forever.
I've been running the 5000 for 8 years, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
love it.
yeah. I've always wanted a DW, but never, because I went the Tama Iron Cobra route, and it was just fine. So it was just like I don't
Yeah.
have a reason to get another one. So
Dude, the things that
Yeah.
I did because just hearing you guys talk about this, I'm in a Lolly land right now because the way I learned instruments is like to myself and even to Oliver, you said, like, it's just super unique in my own way. Like I haven't been to like a guitar lesson or anything. I just kind of played with my fingers until it sounded okay.
Until it worked.
And then like even like Wake Up,
Yeah.
our first song is literally the most simple. Like it's literally my fingers on one string. Like it's the simplest thing ever, but it sounds really good. And that's how I learned how to play guitar. Is like, but with drums, it's like I had a bunch of electric kits, but they were garbage. And like I would kill to have the kit like that you have, dude. But that'll fucking put me in debt. But Fucking-
to get a good electronic kit,
Yeah.
you're gonna have
Yeah,
to
it's pretty
save
penny.
up your lunch money.
exactly. And so I ended up on Facebook Marketplace picking up like a Ludwig, like a basic normal Ludwig, and like I destroyed it. I smashed it till it couldn't be smashed anymore. And the way I looked at it was like, I'm not a drum tech. I don't know how to replace any of these parts, so I sold it as is to a drummer guy that does that, and I bought it the same kit, a new one, the same one. And I did the same thing, and so I feel like you can still get that same experience. Like you guys, like I guess, like have like a better experience with different pedals, but it's like to me, like I can get on any pedal, the most garbage one or not, and still just have the most
Go for
fun
it. Yeah.
time of my. That's how I look at drumming, because I don't want
That's
to be
cool.
a drummer. But I love playing the drums. I love it so much. It's
I
like
didn't have a good
I would argue, yeah.
I didn't have a good drum
So
kit
go
till
on.
2 years ago.
right,
I was playing on a kid's D2 kit
right,
for
Hey.
10 plus
Yeah.
years. A plastic
However,
kit.
however you can start your journey is what matters.
Exactly.
Like, because you're starting the journey, and you
Mhm.
guys are still in the starting point of your journey.
Exactly.
And like, it's, if you continue to go down this path, you're just going to get better and better, and then you're going to look at this time 5 years from now and go, man, we sucked. Man,
Yeah,
we suck,
really,
because you're
really.
that much better now.
Exactly.
Now you've done more and more things. You've learned from all these different things, and you're like, man, like, what were we thinking? It's like, no, that's part of the journey. That's part of the process. Because I look at that old stuff that me and Kyle did, and there was a time where I was like, God, we sucked. We sucked so bad back then. And then I'm like, I'm 40 now, and I still look at that and be like, you know what? For 16-year-old kids,
Right.
we're actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, so it'll come you're going to hate it in your 20s, or you're going to hate your old stuff in your 20s. You're going to love your old stuff in your 30s. It's like, and you're like, well, actually, no, you're going to hate your old stuff in your 20 to 30s, and then once you hit 40s and 50s, that's when you'll start to appreciate
damn,
the work
yeah.
that you did.
Right.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah, I
sick.
believe it.
It's wild how cyclical everything is.
So one of my questions that I want to ask you guys, because like when me and Kyle were, coming up and we're in a band and we're into music and we're like, okay, we want to make this a thing. Like, I'm very curious because it's a different world now, and I haven't been in that. We gotta do something with this project in so long. I haven't had that mindset in forever in terms of like making music.
Yeah.
I want to know what is the end goal for you all? Like, what you guys started a project, you started some music, you've got some music out there. Now what?
I'll start off with saying our main goal is not only that whole check online thing, but it's like I know me for a fact with my vocals and the way I play my guitar is I want to inspire people my age, because there's nothing like, you'll find it on the internet and you'll find the kids that like have the garage band and yada yada yada, but 90% of them are casual musicians that don't have any aspirations of taking it any farther. And and the rest of them are like me and Oliver and other bands like us, like, are just trying to just get ourselves heard, you know what I mean? So it's like I feel like my goal as a musician myself is to inspire, like, I want people my age doing this stuff. Like, I want like opening tours and yada yada with people my age and bands that, people don't know. And it's all about like coming back together instead of the whole social media thing. And it's like we're trying to bring the people, my people, our age people. We don't want all 40-year-olds at our shows, because they like new metal back in the day. It's the God's honest truth. Am I right? Like, we
what, like me and Kyle be there. Well, yeah, guys, go get it.
I'm gonna go get a beer while y'all open. No, but it's like,
Turn
like,
it down. It's too loud.
But hopefully you understood what I meant. It's just like
No, I get it.
we want
Yeah, totally
everyone,
get it,
we
dude.
want our people to enjoy it, because like I've also been on Twitch, and I've also just like shown like other just like streamers that just sit there and talk to the chat and stuff. I send them the song. I'll be like, review it, please, please, please. And half of them ask for donations. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. But like I asked him to play it, and he played it, and he was like straight up, he was like, bro, like, I never have listened to this genre and I'm never going to, but you know what you're doing and it's good, and I'm glad that you're doing that. And he was super authentic about it, and I could tell he wasn't lying, you know what I mean? He wasn't just,
Yeah.
it wasn't part of a pity thing. It wasn't part of like oh, good stuff, man. Next up, you know what I mean? It was like a genuine like, and that's just a reminder, because, if people can see that in me, some kid's gonna look up to that. And that's the goal, because I was that kid for so long that looked up to whoever I looked up to, and I want to be that person for somebody else.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good
That's
goal.
awesome.
What about playing shows? Is that even a thing people do anymore? Because like the only concerts I ever hear of are like they're already established acts. I
Right.
don't ever see like local band shows anymore. That was the
When
thing
I
when
was-
we were growing up. It was
Exactly.
like
Yeah, what I was gonna say is that's one of our goals, is
Right,
to be
live shows.
a
We
live
want to be live.
band. A live band.
Mhm.
We want people to listen to our music and be like, well, I've seen videos of them, or videos or have you seen them live? Like a
Mhm.
different
Right.
element. It's a completely different version of ourselves. When
That's why.
we
That's why I look at. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, you can say I finished my thought.
Yeah. The fuck you song that brings me back to
Yeah.
that. The way that sounds recorded is nowhere near how good it sounds live. Like
No, of course not.
I have to sing kind of. I can't scream into a fucking mic and you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like I have to put it out online and for streaming and whatever purposes, but it's like we just the way we get footage from our shows and stuff and that can show people online and it's like dude, the shows are so much better than just fucking listening to this shit. Like especially for the people around us, there's not a lot of these shows going on. So every time we end up at um a spot, like we had a spot like a whole far away from us, and we would drive all the way there just to play for 15 minutes. But we would get a lot of people coming, and like people loved it. Like when they saw the drums and all the shit set up on the side of the stage, because it's not it's a little fucking warehouse venue. You know what I mean? So when they see all that shit set up on the side for waiting to come up for the whoever's gonna fucking play that shit, everyone was just waiting for that shit, and our first show went crazy just because of that. And it was like
Oh, that's cool.
people forgot about that. People didn't know that not that they didn't know it existed, but reality they didn't know it existed, and people that they're surrounded by people that do that stuff, and like it was so different playing our first live show. Like it was like just the way people look at you, it's you can be who you want and who you are, and nobody can say anything about it because that
You
doesn't
have the
matter to
mic.
you. Exactly the point.
You have the mic, and
You
so there's a certain level of power that comes with that. And when we played our first show back, God, dude, our first show, we did the whole face paint thing because like Mudvayne was really popular at that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, we face paint and everything. We're
Fishnets and
16
fucking-
years old, fishnets and everything.
Oh yeah.
But like it was such a wild experience. The light came on,
Right.
and I'm sure it did for you. Like,
Exactly.
okay, this is what it's
This-
about: playing in front of people,
exactly.
seeing and feeling the energy from the crowd, and that's like I want to feel this feeling again. It becomes a drug. You continue,
Exactly.
you want it so bad again. You're like, okay, let's play the next show. Let's play the next show, and before you know it, you become like you become addicted to that
Right.
feeling of the live presence. And man, like, yeah, so that's cool that it's sad to hear that y'all are having trouble finding spots.
Right. Yeah, it is
know?
really
There's not-
hard because
Our scene here, we have no scene. Zero scene.
Yeah.
Zero
yeah,
band.
and we don't want to just play in bars. We don't want and this is all part of it. Like we get it, but it's not so much that we have a target audience, but it's more like there's energy to be felt in our shows, and it's like we don't want to just fucking stand up there and have people hear us. Like we don't want to be sound. We want to be attended by or whatever. It's like we want people to be
Experience.
there for a reason. We don't want to just be heard or whatever. We want
Right.
someone to feel something when they see us.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, man. It's got to be. It's interesting. It's like being able to create music has never been easier.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's almost like, because of that, have we traded the live aspect? Whereas it used to be so hard to create like music,
Mhm.
but live was like the only way you got to ingest it. Like we used to play shows in like the Smoothie King parking lot.
Right.
Like there was so like the Las Vegas local music scene at the time, that was like what you did as a kid, as a teenager. It was like, what's the next show you're going to go to? Because that's where you saw your friends. That's where you made new friends.
Right,
That's where you
right.
saw new bands. It was like that's just all we did was go to shows and go to band practice. But it's just weird now because I mean, I haven't even seen a band,
Right.
like kids in a band. Like I didn't even
Exactly.
know that was a thing anymore. That's why I was shocked when you guys
And
were like,
you're
"Oh, you
in
guys are
you're
a
in
band?"
LA.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
There should be music everywhere.
it's not.
Right.
And I'm in Nashville, and of course there's music everywhere here,
Mhm.
and so there is a little bit more of a concentration of like creating, spaces for musicians. And but to tell you the truth, I don't even know if there's like a rock scene
Other
out here
venues?
now
Yeah.
with all, because all the venues are, it's country based or
Right,
like
right.
established act based.
Exactly.
I imagine they do have some local band nights. I'm not too, I'm fucking 40 years old. I'm in the house all the time now, and I don't go to shows anymore. But I, back in back in the day, which was a Wednesday, back in the day, there was people who weren't musicians who loved music and had a spot that they could use to create a space for actual musicians like local bands. That's what people would do because they loved music so much. They may not have been musicians, like the owner of that Smoothie King back in in Vegas. He loved music and he loved new music, and he would lock off the parking lot for Smoothie King Fridays or Saturdays or whatever it was, and he would have local bands play at the Smoothie King.
That's awesome.
And there was a viral video a couple years ago. I'm sure everyone has seen it here. The Denny's.
Yeah.
The Denny's one.
Yeah.
dude.
Where everyone moshing in a Denny's.
Yep.
Yes.
I love
up,
that.
Denny's?
What
Yeah.
the fuck's up, Denny's? Start the pit, dude. Like that was so that warmed my heart, and it hurt my heart when I heard that they don't do that anymore. Because like that's exactly what needs to happen to give young bands the space to hone their craft live in front. That's the only way that's going to work. Because otherwise people are just going to release their stuff online, and then they're going to try and get a spot and try to, politic their way into a venue. But what incentive does a venue have to have local band nights? If they're looking at their top, bottom line, they're going to be like, no one knows who this band is.
Right.
Yeah, people don't go to shows. Yeah.
What needs to happen is those owners have to basically take the hit for the art of it,
Right.
for the goal of giving young people the space to put their stuff out there live,
Right.
and to have that feeling because there's no other feeling in the world than having your first show.
Oh yeah.
Well, and from a crowd's perspective, there's no other feeling like being in a crowd full of people that are all there to see the same thing and know all the same lyrics and know all the same parts, so that they like their favorite like pauses or like when the breakdown's coming or whatever. Like that's seeing live music is different. And it's also, here's a great example. I went to, have you heard of the When We Were Young Fest?
Yeah, of course.
That happened in Vegas like 3 years ago. Went to that, and there was a band. Have you heard of Boys Like Girls?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so they played their hit song, and everyone had their phone out, and they stopped after the hit song, and they were like, "Okay, we're gonna play that song again, but we're gonna pretend like it's early 2000s, and no one had a cell phone." So he's like, "So everyone put your cell phone away, and we're not gonna play it until everyone's cell phones away." And they're like, "We just want everyone to go off and just have fun, be in the moment." So like, you already got your videos, you already got your things we're gonna play the song again, and let's pretend. And it was palpable how different it felt. And it was like people were pumped, like they put their phones away. People were crowd surfing again. People were singing and jumping around. It was like, this is what it's supposed to be like. It's not supposed to be this. It's supposed to be interactive. Dude, so I hope you guys blow up, and I hope your first decree is if you ever go see one of your shows, you have to leave your cell phone at the fucking door. I wish, I'm not joking. I wish cell phones were banned for live shows. It ruins it, man.
I went to my first ever small show was the Melvins at a place called
hell yeah,
the Crowbar in Tampa.
Yeah.
And like small little show, like literally basically a bar. And I was the youngest person there, and the whole show I didn't see a single phone that entire time. Like most fun I've ever had at a show, because everybody was involved with you. I didn't feel like I needed to film. I didn't feel like I needed my phone because nobody else had their phone.
Well, because at that point, like the whole reason why you're putting your phone up is like for 90% of people who put their phone up is like, I'm going to put it on my social media, and it becomes a selfish thing. And it becomes like oh, look at me, I'm at this show, I'm this is But when you put your phone down and you just like experience it, now this experience is just yours. no one else is involved
Yeah.
with this experience except for you.
Exactly.
And so that there's something special with that, you know, when you put the phone up, it takes it to another superficial level that's not necessary.
I would even argue that because everyone knows there's a cell phone and recording at all times, people are less open to just let go and be themselves for fear of either looking stupid or
Yeah.
getting caught in a video and put online. It's like if there were no phones, people could just be in the moment and just be themselves without fear of judgment.
It'd be the world would be so. I think the whole music, the live music world would be so different if phones weren't, as whatever as they are now. It's so agreeable.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, boys, man,
We did the damn thing.
we did the thing.
Yeah.
We did the thing. I cannot thank you guys enough. It was a pleasure meeting you both.
Bro, it was a pleasure meeting you.
And I wish you both like the best of luck with everything. And I can't say enough good things about you, Oliver. You have I just want to say you have so much wisdom for your age. Like, I want to say like this 16-year-old was so much smarter than when I was a 16-year-old.
I know.
Thank you.
Both of you guys get it. No, both of you guys 100%. You understand what music is for and how to approach it, and it's not about being like the most technical savvy best player in the world. It's about expressing yourself through the instruments that you've chosen in like the purest form of expression too, which is so cool. You guys aren't worried about like genre so much. You're just like, hey, let's make this. I love this type of sound. I want to make this type of sound. Let's just see what happens. Let's put it out.
Exactly.
That's so cool. So before you guys leave, give us like one last plug of like where can people find your band? What are you guys working on next? What's something you want someone to listen to? Is there a specific track you want them to find?
Yeah. Well, I will say, first of all, we're dropping our first ever album July 11th. Unfortunately, it has to go on all platforms, because I can't mail the millions of CDs to the millions of fans we have. It's just too stressful. Too stressful.
So hard, dude.
So I'll make it easier for myself and just put it online and, check online. That's the only name. Just check online. It's as simple as that. And, it'll be on every streaming platform July 11th. And I feel like that's our most important thing.
What's the name of the album?
Don't check online.
I love that.
I love it.
Yeah. So
I love it.
And
That's
our first single's out today. Came out today.
yeah, just dropped today. Just dropped today.
Our first single from the album
And,
comes out
what's the
today.
name?
Shut the world off one more time.
Shut the World Off one more time, and they can find your first single on streaming
Every
platforms too.
platform and you can think of.
Yep.
Check it out, but don't check it out.
Check
Go
it
to
out.
a show.
Exactly. Exactly my
Exactly.
point. Boom. You got it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you
Dude,
so much.
thank you all,
It
man.
was so great.